begin to wrap up now. So, in recent years, we've seen a wave of military takeover. Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Niger, and there are others that are concerned that it might happen in other parts of the continent. Now, some citizens were happy and they carried placards and celebrated the fact that the military is taking over in their country. And there are examples of the likes of Traore that, yeah, military might be a better option. But what's your thoughts? How do you think they're faring under military? And I know what Nigeria experienced under military, and a lot of people said, never again. But is this an option for
You
Africa?
know, what is happening? My good friend Chidi Odinkalu has written a book called The Selectorate, which deals with the last Nigerian election. And what is happening in most African countries is that people are losing faith in the electoral processes. They are beginning to hold the view that their votes don't count. That is, those who count the votes that matter most, and that politicians, particularly those who are the incumbent, have mastered the art of ensuring that they secure the results that they desire. For that reason,
The language they use now is that they write the results that they want.
so good.
And they tell you go to
They
polls.
tell you good. And that I think has made the people to be disillusioned. If they did what they did and the people's lives were improving, they were able to pay school fees, able to take care of their medical bills, able to secure jobs for younger people, perhaps they would not mind. But elections in many cases are manipulated and the quality of the people's lives do not improve and the politicians become richer and richer. So because people are helpless, military coups in their mind appear like the solution. But as to whether the military solution are successful, the jury is still out. When you are talking about a nation, the pronouncements of military leaders in year one and two and three and even five may appear very rosy. But we may begin to see where men in uniform now abandon their uniform and wear suits and then come to the ballot. What does it tell us? That Africa is in a governance crisis, and that therefore we ought to very actively debate what kind of governance we need in order to ensure that the people's lives are protected and improved. I've said, and I'm repeating it again, we must now begin to ask ourselves, are there elements within our otherwise very feudal traditional systems which can be borrowed and be customized in the 21st century, so that within one country you have different governance systems and a coordinating authority? Is this a possibility? So that we have a measure of what the Chinese say, democracy with a Chinese character, so that we talk about democracy with a Nigerian character, dealing with the specificities of Nigeria, democracy with a Ghanaian character, with a Kenyan character, dealing with the specificities and peculiarities as a way of immunizing ourselves from military takeovers. This to me is a conversation that we are afraid to hold, but we must hold it sooner rather than later. Otherwise, the men in uniform will emerge as Moses, latter day Moses, with rod and staff, but this time with Kalashnikovs in their hands and shooting their way to power and telling us that they are our saviors and we will accept them, unfortunately.
So that takes me to the question of, is dictatorship an option for Africa? Because some people relate this to, we're used to kings and emperors and the kind of leaders that when they